both belong. Join the conference, it's gonna be lit. Curipod fam, you don't wanna miss it. In this digital age, we've got them online. No need to travel, no waiting in line. From the comfort of home, our passion tastes like. Afraid we divide us, but our heart bars are right. Can't attend live, don't let it dismay. Place on the way, just a click, no delay. Curicon, the future's awesome. We're writing teaching, they both belong. Join the conference, it's gonna be lit. Curipod fam, you don't wanna miss it. So spread the word, let the assignment unfold. Curicon's the place for teachers, it's all one. In the rhyme of right, together we'll find. Our Curicon, let make the future come alive. Awesome. We're riding GG, they both belong.
Welcome back, Curicon attendees. I'm your host, Amanda Fox, and I've got an echo, and I know why. So I'm going to get rid of that real quick because I have my YouTube open where I can watch you on multiple screens as well. I'm your host, Amanda Fox, I'm Curipod Community Manager, and I'm joined today by Curipod Ambassador Christy Cloud, who will be my closer for all sessions. And she's wearing multiple hats today. She's also closing out Curicon with her final presentation at 7:30. Christy, is my sound okay?
It is on my end.
Okay. So today's our final day, and we're thrilled to see you here bringing your curiosity and passion for education. So thank you for tuning in today. Multiple sessions all week, or if you're just tuning in for the first time. If you missed any episodes, don't worry. You can still catch up. Just make sure to register to access the replay links, and we're going to be sending out a resource guide with presentations. So if you haven't registered yet, you've just been tuning in, you stumbled upon us, make sure you click on go to curi-con.com, hit that registration link because you've got more goodies coming to you in your inbox.
Thanks, Amanda. I'm so excited about today's kickoff session. Are you an educator that's dedicated to creating inclusive learning experiences? Are you keen on aligning your teaching methods with UDL, Universal Design for Learning principles, and integrating cutting-edge AI tools into your assessments? If so, you are in the right place.
That's right. Today, we're diving deep into innovative education with our first session featuring Michael Harvey from New Zealand. I'm just going to go ahead and bring him up on stage with us as we talk about him. All good stuff. Get ready to explore practical strategies and techniques for accessing student learning using state-of-the-art AI tools and resources. Imagine seamlessly evaluating your students' understanding while adhering to the UDL framework. That's Universal Design for Learning for those of you who aren't familiar. This session is hands-on, packed with real-world examples and actionable insights from Dr. Harves.
As well.
Yes, so from New Zealand. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I was going to say, as well as yet another great accent. So whether you're an experienced educator or someone just starting their journey into the world of AI-enhanced teaching, this session has something for you. We believe in making education accessible, engaging, and effective for all students. So let's do this.
Oh, we've got someone from, sorry, I'm going to let Michael talk for a minute while I put the comments up.
Not a problem. No, just Atamarie from New Zealand. It's spring here now, so it's a beautiful sunny day here in in Blenheim. So yeah, just greetings from the other side of the world for those in the Northern Hemisphere and enjoying their fall or autumn. Yeah.
Awesome. And we have a lot of repeat viewers. We've got Oscar, we've got Elizabeth, who's still in Georgia. I know I ask this question every day. It's more for our noobs, but people who are joining us for the first time. But thank you, Elizabeth, for joining in again. Lisa Snow from Seattle, Jessica Adams from Georgia representing. Aileen says, here we go. She had a fan-freaking-tastic presentation last night on student perspectives of Curipod. Let's see. Stella, Jolene's back. We got Latoya from Tennessee, and we've got Fatma from Egypt. So, Michael, you are no stranger to AI and education or UDL. You joined us for a week of AI back in May, and
That's correct.
gave us some riveting insights into how you're utilizing AI in your classroom. You want to go ahead and cue up your presentation? I don't want to take too much.
I don't want to go too much into John's time, so I'll share my screen, and it's taking some time to load up. There we go. And Curipod presentation.
And while he's sharing, be sure to tune in at 8 o'clock because we're going to be pulling social media and bingo winners. And we've got a drawing activity to where if you haven't won anything yet, you have an opportunity to. So, all right. So we're going to pop down, Michael, and let you have the stage.
Awesome. Okay. So welcome everyone to this presentation on how artificial intelligence can help us implement universal design for learning in our classrooms. So what is UDL? Well, basically UDL is a framework that guides the design of learning environments that are accessible and engaging to all our learners. And AI, as we're now fully aware, is a branch of computer science that aims to create machines or systems that can perform tasks that normally require human intelligence, such as understanding language, recognizing images, and solving problems. So today, I'm going to show you some examples of how AI tools can enhance the three principles of UDL, which are multiple means of representation, multiple means of action and expression, and multiple means of engagement. So by using AI tools, we can leverage the power of student data, feedback, and personalization to create an assessment or assessments that support these principles and help our students achieve their learning goals. Okay, so being from Aotearoa, New Zealand, we usually start with something called a pepeha. So that's where I live at the moment, Waiharakeke or Blenheim. So just to go quickly through that. So ko Michael Harvey tapu ingoa. So Michael Harvey is my name. No ingarani oko tipuna. So my ancestors primarily come from England. Ki Waiharakeke aho I noho ana, as Blenheim was where I'm living at the moment. And he kiako aho ki te kareti taitama o Wairau. So I'm a teacher at Marlborough Boys College in Blenheim. And ko kai korikiri aho I te kaupapa Curipod is basically I'm a champion of this Curicon project. So in terms of meeting me, the speaker, there's my blog where I ramble about things. As I said, I'm a senior science teacher, digital leader, and director of esports, kind of self-appointed, at Marlborough Boys College here in Blenheim, New Zealand. And that's my educational background for my sins. And the best advice I've ever received is to always ask for forgiveness, not permission, which is pretty much how I've run using AI in my classroom. And if you want to follow me on X, I guess it's no longer Twitter, I'm at Dr._Harves. So the first thing I'd like you to do is make this more interactive and join at Curie.live, and the pin there is 310281. It'd be great to have a few people on, so I'll give you a minute to try and log in, and then I'll kind of pick your mind about what you think when you think about assessment. Now hold music or pregnant silence for a minute. So yeah, basically this presentation will just be looking at how we can incorporate the different forms of assessment using UDL, Curipod, and artificial intelligence. All right, let's see how many have logged in. Got 4 people, that's great. So I'll just give that another 30 seconds and we'll, 5 people, 6. Oh, the numbers are increasing, great. Oh, 7, wow. Okay, I'll get going. So I'll give you 3 minutes to have a little think about that. Oh, just press the wrong side. Right click, left click. There we go. Well, I think it's also quite important that when you're doing this kind of assessment, you give the students time to think as well, not trying to rush them into ideas. We've got students who take a little more processing time, so it's always good to give it a lot of time to these kind of tasks. Might stop it a minute early. Looking forward to see what responses are. Might stop that a bit early. There we go. Let's see what kind of responses we've come up with. There we go. So, yeah, the ideas around summative and formative. Yep. So, pain to create. Yes. Well, AI is hopefully solving that. The idea of metacognition. Oh, the marking. Have a guess what I was doing this morning. Informational. Very time consuming to grade. Yep. These are all kind of ideas around how teachers especially see assessment. Right, so basically to summarize, there's three basic types of assessment, or maybe you've already done one, diagnostic, formative, and summative. So assessment is basically an essential part of our teaching and learning, as we know, because it provides information of what our students know, what they can do, and what they need to improve on. And as you can see, there's three types: diagnostic, formative, and summative. And diagnostic assessment is used before a unit or lesson to identify students' prior knowledge, their skills, their strengths, their weaknesses. It helps teachers plan the instruction to meet the needs of the diverse learners. That's kind of a way that Curipod can use that. So the diagnostic word cloud, it gives me a baseline about what the students know, and it kind of can direct the learning. So the lessons are actually not set in concrete. It kind of flows depending on what information I'm getting from the students as I do the presentation or do the teaching. And then we have formative assessment, which can be used during a unit or a lesson to monitor student progress, provide feedback, adjust instruction accordingly. Okay, so it's all about the flexibility as you go through the lesson, and helps students identify their learning goals, strategies, and how they can achieve. And finally, the dreaded summative assessment is used after a unit or a lesson to measure the student's mastery of the learning outcomes. Okay, so hopefully the learning outcomes for this is you have a deeper understanding of how to incorporate AI in your assessment using UDL. And it basically is helping, hopefully, me and you as a teacher evaluate the effectiveness of your instruction and also provide grades for those reports that we're told we have to do. So the first kind of learning is the diagnostic, which is assessment for learning. Okay, so in terms of assessment for learning, we can implement UDL in assessment using multiple means of representation, which means providing students with different ways to access and comprehend the information that they are learning. So one example, which we're using at the moment, is Curipod, which is a platform which you all now hopefully know about, being part of Curicon, that allows us teachers to create personalized lessons for classes based on student interests, abilities, and the curriculum goals. Okay, so as you know, Curipod uses AI to analyze student responses and can provide adaptive feedback and guidance along the way. And I think the more important thing is it creates prompts during the lesson that can actually drive the learning for that particular class or particular student. And another way to implement UDL in assessment is by using the multiple means of representation, action and expression, which means providing the students with different ways to demonstrate their knowledge and skills. And one of those is the example is Kahoot, which is a game-based learning platform that allows teachers to create the interactive quizzes that engage students in friendly competition. And it uses the AI in Kahoot is used to generate questions based on curriculum standards and the difficulty level that you select by this teacher. But then Kahoot then sees where the students are going, so that actually creates questions which are more at their level and slowly scaffolds them up. And the third way of implementing UDL in assessment is to use multiple means of engagement, which means different ways to motivate and sustain the interest of students in the efforts of learning. And quizzes provides that. So again, it allows you to create fun quizzes in terms of diagnostic assessment that rewards students with points, badges, and memes, and it personalizes feedback and rewards based on the students' preferences and their performance. In terms of formative assessment or assessment for learning, I use ChatGPT, Insights, and Microsoft and Teams, Adobe, Firefly, and Nurture as the big ones. And so the way I do it with ChatGPT is that it's a chatbot, as we're all aware, which uses large language processing to generate a realistic and engaging conversations with students on various topics. So for me, being a science teacher, it helps the students practice the communication and critical thinking skills, as well as learn new facts and perspectives. So an example could be you create a discussion between 3 different points of view on an issue, and the ChatGPT can play at that role or character. So the students are conversing with that character, seeing it from their perspective. Insights in Microsoft Teams is a feature that uses the bigger, broader data analytics to provide teachers and students with insights on how they're going in terms of activity and progress, and can provide ways that you can monitor the students' engagement, performance, and feedback from all the information that you're getting from their marking. And it provides, therefore, timely support and intervention for certain students who are struggling with a concept. You can go over it with them, so it kind of individualizes the learning in that respect. And it can help students themselves track their goals, their habits, and their emotions. You see the little emotion monsters there, and improves their self-regulation and resilience. Yes. And finally, second to last, Adobe Firefly is a tool that uses text prompts to create and generate images, and it can help students explore visualizing ideas, especially say with short story writing, and basically see them explore content related to their learning through a visual context. It also helps me, I've used it quite a lot, to create authentic and meaningful assessments, because I kind of do personalize it. So I've got, for example, a mountain biker in my class. So all my assessments around physics are around mountain biking. And it also sees how they can be, the physics concepts I'm teaching can be applied in a real world context. And finally, Nurture is a tool that uses machine learning to create personalized and adaptive learning journeys for students based on their profiles, preferences, and feedback. And it can help students discover their purpose and their passions, their strengths and aspirations, as well as develop their social and emotional skills. It can also help teachers design and deliver differentiated and inclusive instruction that meets the needs of their diverse learner or learners. Okay, so what's this one? Here we go. Here we go. So here's a little challenge for you. Create a visual representation of using AI to enhance student assessment with UDL. So it's a different way to show learning through a visual representation. There we go. Might keep reading it. I didn't realize how short this time is after that. So given the time, I might just cut that a bit short. So I'll give you 15 more seconds to create your work of art. I might stop it there. Okay. So usually I'd use the voting. But we'll skip voting today because of the time. But yeah, so voting is also a very good way that the peer review as well. So you could have a discussion. The students could discuss potentially why a particular drawing is a good representation. So again, it's enhancing learning, but due to time constraints, we'll skip the voting for today. Let's have a look at these wonderful works of art. There we go. Easy, eh? Oh, yeah. So there we go. So personalized assessment data is coming in, and you're using the AI as actually personalizing that data. That's great. So there's some really great ideas around there. So that's just a different way that students can represent learning, because the classic way is usually through a boring essay. Well, I think it's boring. But I quite like using different ways of assessment. So it could be, for example, a video using Flip, or a potential like a podcast between two students discussing ideas. So there's many ways you can actually assess learning formatively. Okay, moving on. Right, so in terms of assessing learning with UDL, so basically you've got the idea around establishing the clear outcomes, anticipating learner variability, designing assessments, designing the instructional experience, and delivering and reflecting on what you've actually done. So it's actually more of this isn't an arrow, but it's really a circular model in terms of using assessment and AI in terms of assessment. And that's kind of where I see the advantage of Curipod is that can all happen with a lesson. So you establish the clear outcomes at the start. You then use the assessment, the diagnostic assessment, for example, to anticipate the learner variability as you're going through the lesson. Designing the experiment, the assessments can be basically on the go because you might get feedback from the students saying they don't or illustrating they don't understand a particular context. So the lesson can take a completely different direction than you originally anticipated, and then you can then deliver the content and reflect back. Okay, so how can you use AI enhanced assessment? I'll give you a couple of minutes to think about that. Actually, maybe a minute. AI. I've been like very quickly run through presentation. I'll stop in 15 seconds. Okay. In a moment, we'll skip voting, but again, you could use that as a potential tool for students to look at the different ideas and concepts and vote, arguing why it's a bad idea or a good idea, but we'll skip the voting for the moment. And so what I use basically Curipod for doing things is that then looking through the comments, I can then have a discussion with the students. And again, that discussion, that conversation is driving the lesson. And it's using the assessment, which we're seeing right here. This is actually an assessment of what they're understanding, to actually drive the lesson in possibly a completely different way than you initially thought. So that's the power of synchronous Curipod. Okay, so this is now my summative assessment. So these are my last 3 questions to see how well I have done in terms of teaching you this. So I'll give you a minute to answer. What does UDL stand for? Ooh, hopefully I've done a good job. Okay, moment of time. Here we go. Universal design for learning. Yes, so most of us got that. Yep, that is what it does stand for. Okay, next, summative poll. How can AI be used to enhance assessment for learning in UDL? Okay, and the answer is actually it can be all 3 of those. That's a little trick question in that sense. So it can both be used for automating the process by creating adaptive assessments and also providing personalized feedback to learners. And final question, what are some of the potential benefits of using AI in UDL assessment? Okay, and again, the idea of enhanced accessibility and inclusivity, improving learning outcomes, and also increased efficiency and accuracy with feedback especially. So yeah, that's a very quick run through of the ideas around using AI and UDL with assessment. That was a mad rush. So if you have any questions, or was there any questions, I'm here to answer any. There we go.
That was so amazing. I love all of these great ideas, and you threw out tools that I've never even heard of. So I am so excited to check those out. And UDL is something that is so well, obviously universal. We can use it no matter what we're teaching. So it resonates with all of us. And I appreciate you sharing all of your expertise with us tonight. It's been a wonderful session. Thank you so much. And everybody else, I'm so excited to continue on tonight with you guys. I do want to point out that since tonight's our big finale, we're going to hold all the prizes till the end. So we're not going to do session prizes, but there will be tons of prizes at the end after everyone's sessions. And make sure you're getting those bingo cards filled out. You've got your dance challenge ready, and you're giving hashtag Curicon all the love on your socials. And we will see you in the next session. Thank you so much, Dr. Harvey.
No problem. Thank you. Cheers. Okay.
All right, so I can't wait to see you guys over there. If you want to go ahead and head on out, I will be right over to the next session where we'll hear all about the amazing Edu protocols. So I will see you guys there.
Curicon, the future's awesome. We're riding